Welcome to the INFOWARS Nightly News. It is Monday, November 23rd, 2015, and I'm Leanne McAdoo. Here is a look at what's coming up tonight.
Tonight, the White House gave ISIS a 45-minute head start before bombing their oil tankers. Then, the Clock Kids' $15 million lawsuit. And even Democrats know that the war against Assad is illegal and unconstitutional. That's next.
Hell, they may even launch a chemical attack and say Chicago or L.A. or Austin, for that matter, and blame it on Assad. And our media will say Assad did it, and it will say he's al-Qaeda. They've already been doing that over there. And Turkey got caught and Saudi Arabia got caught giving them the nerve gas. It came out in the UN and the BBC months after we documented it that it was a staged chemical attack to set up Assad.
Clean, pure drinking water. You can't survive without it. But where do you get it? Alexa Pure Pro is a brand new, groundbreaking, gravity-fed water filtration system that is like no other. The Alexa Pure Pro transforms water from virtually any fresh source into clean, healthy drinking water, pairing the unprecedented superfiltration power of an all-new gravity block core with a hybrid chromatic shell. It removes up to 99.999% of impurities, including bacteria, viruses, fluoride, disinfectants, volatile organic contaminants, and hormones. Filter capacity up to 5,000 gallons. Stainless steel construction. Easy assembly. Low maintenance. Replacement filters are simple to install. And now, as part of an exclusive limited time introductory offer, you can save $20 off the retail price and get free shipping. This is a limited time offer, so order your unit today and receive free shipping and $20 off. Go to InfoWarsStore.com or call 888-253-3139.
So it takes 15 months for the U.S. to target the Islamic State's oil infrastructure. But when they do, they give them a 45-minute heads up. That's right. The Obama White House gave a 45-minute warning before bombing ISIS's oil tankers. They dropped leaflets advising potential jihadists to flee before the airstrikes in Syria. You can see the picture there of those pamphlets if you scroll up. It says, "Get out of your trucks now and run away from them. Warning, airstrikes are coming. Oil trucks will be destroyed. Get away from your oil trucks immediately. Do not risk your life." So, I mean, that's just so very, very kind to try to avoid any collateral damage. They say that their excuse is that those people could potentially be civilians. But these are not just your innocent civilians like children or sick people. These are people that are actually actively helping to wage ISIS's war by driving the oil trucks, which is the majority of how they're getting their money to wage this war that is now spreading into Europe. So, of course, now also, who knows who these people could be, but potential jihadists that might now make their way into this migrant wave. So let's take a look at the way Russia is actually dealing with their airstrikes. So it took the U.S. 15 months to even begin targeting ISIS's oil refineries and tankers. Their airstrikes, they've taken out only 116 tanker trucks. This was the first strike to target ISIS's lucrative black market. Well, Russia was able to destroy more than 1,000 tankers in a period of just 5 days. And Putin says that these Russian airstrikes are going to last until the plane bombers are punished. He says, you know, we're going to take them out and we're just going to keep on with these airstrikes. So we're dealing with a community leader president who's giving ISIS a 45-minute heads up. Russia is meanwhile bombing them straight to hell, which is what he has promised. So I just want to take a moment to just let everyone kind of think about that, how we are programmed to care about certain deaths and not others. Obviously, everyone changed their profile picture there to show their support for Paris and Parisians in wake of this last terror attack. But I mean, let's not forget, Russia, they also experienced a terror attack. Their plane was bombed. 224 people died on that plane. Nobody changed their profile picture to that. You know, nobody changes their picture every single day with Gaza or Syria or Pakistan. You know, he doesn't give those people there a heads up, hey, we're going to be a little collateral damage here with these drone strikes. So it's all very orchestrated the way that people should care about these things. Even on the American Music Awards, Jared Leto came out and was saying, you know, let's let the Syrian refugees come in after we had that very heartfelt, touching song by Celine Dion. So, I mean, it's all very orchestrated programming here with all of that. And, you know, Russian state television has a little propaganda of their own. They are thumbing their nose at the president once again by putting out pictures of Vladimir Putin's triple-decker war room, which people are saying is straight out of a Bond movie. And you can actually take a look at it there. This is the military's ground zero for all their missile and nuclear weapon launches around the world. And according to Russian state news agency, the war room is bigger and better than the U.S. National Military Command Center at the Pentagon. And, you know, it does look like it is straight out of a Bond film. So there again, just letting the president know that we're going to do, you know, they're going to do things to the extreme, bigger, better, and badder. And our community leader president is just going to scold the rest of the world, just saying that ISIS is just, you know, they're a bunch of killers with good social media. So, and he's warning us once again not to overreact to the Islamic State. Don't worry about the fact that they are raping little girls and beheading Christians and throwing people off of buildings and stoning women to death for getting raped. I mean, just don't overreact to this stuff, and don't worry about the fact that these people are potentially coming over in this migrant crisis, planning potential terror attacks. Don't worry about it. This is what the president continues to push. This is actually what he had to say.
So I want to be as clear as I can on this. Prejudice and discrimination helps ISIL and undermines our national security. And so even as we destroy ISIL on the battlefield, and we will destroy them, we will take back land that they are currently in. We will cut off their financing. We will hunt down their leadership. We will dismantle their networks and their supply lines, and we will ultimately destroy them. We want to make sure that we don't lose our own values and our own principles.
So that's what President Obama said Sunday, trying to reassure a nation on edge. He's saying the Islamic State group cannot strike a mortal blow against the U.S. Overreacting is just going to, you know, it's just going to play into the extremist hands. Of course, not yet, because he's got to get in enough of these people to just let it be this ticking time bomb waiting to explode to, of course, create the chaos that they can then create the order out of. And essentially, they're just really pushing this message, even at the American Music Awards, that you're basically a racist if you lock your doors at night, because not everyone in the world is a criminal, but that doesn't mean you don't lock your doors to protect what is inside. And it is the president's job. His first thing is to protect America and protect the people that are in this country. Let us not forget that one of the Paris terrorists was welcomed ashore in Greece. He was given help and clothes by French volunteers. So this is an Islamic State fanatic. He used a fake Syrian passport. He sailed to Leros with a group of English-speaking pals. Officials said that group was helped ashore with nearly 200 refugees after they deliberately drove a knife through their boat as they neared land. So then he goes on with his friends. He takes a 10-hour boat trip to Athens. He then heads to Macedonia to request asylum in Serbia. He enters Croatia on October 8th, and then he made his way to France, where it is believed that he blew himself up outside the stadium there. So that just shows you the sheer determination of this person that would go on that arduous of a journey, and then with that would be his end game. But you know what? Don't overreact. Just please do not overreact to this. And now we actually do have some sane people there in Congress. This is a Democrat, Tulsi Gabbard, and she is, of course, you know, someone that the war party hates. She is continuing to criticize the illegal effort to overthrow the Syrian government. Take a listen.
The same things were said about Gaddafi in Libya. Look at the state of these countries today. They have been overrun and are filled with chaos, and ISIS and Islamic extremist groups have only grown stronger in these countries and are terrorizing the people there.
So the world would be better with Gaddafi and Hussein
ISIS, our enemy, would not be as strong as they are today if those actions were not taken to overthrow those secular dictators.
And so that's what this whole thing is all about. It's not just all of a sudden accepting Syrian refugees. It is about getting into a war with Syria. It has always been about overthrowing Assad. And she doesn't back down. Tulsi Gabbard continues to point out that taking him out is just going to create another power vacuum. CNN's Jake Tapper says, a lot of people say Assad is a bloodthirsty tyrant who has killed hundreds of thousands of his own people. How on earth could you want him to stay in power? And without missing a beat, she just says, look, that's the exact same thing they said about Iraq. They said the same thing about Gaddafi in Libya. And look at the state of these countries today. They've been overrun and they're filled with chaos. And ISIS and Islamist extremist groups have only grown stronger in these countries. And they've gone on to terrorize the people there. So that is the reality. When Obama tells you not to overreact, I don't think he's saying that to this congresswoman who is pretty sure and speaks very eloquently about the state of what's going on there and the fact that they're just going to create another power vacuum by taking out Assad. They need to focus on taking out ISIS. And, you know, while we're on this thing of taking in refugees, there's a story out today, 150 on a flight from Mexico were allowed to skip right through customs and leave JFK Airport. They were just inadvertently sent over to the domestic terminal. So, of course, the TSA has had to hound those people and say, please come back and check through customs. So it should probably make you feel really at ease when they want to reassure you about the vetting process. The fact that Congress has just learned about the Syrian refugees that have been entering the U.S. for the last 2 years, thanks to the media reporting about that one refugee that was missing from Louisiana. That was just about 10 days ago. And so, of course, this has now elicited a warning from Congress who's saying, hey, we don't have current intelligence regarding the refugees who are here in the U.S. and, of course, those who will arrive in the future. So, you know, that's what they're going to continue to tell us is don't be racist. Don't lock your doors. We're already bringing them in. The vetting process is perfectly safe. We've got it under control. And you know what? Congress doesn't even know about it. And the fact is, they're already here.
As we all know, the Obama administration continues to fund groups like the Syrian rebels, many of whom aren't even Syrian and most of whom have actually sworn their allegiance to al-Qaeda. We've also seen groups like ISIS have grenades and rocket launchers airdropped to them courtesy of Western governments. Now, of course, the officials say that this is a mistake and Wynn probably blew the grenades and rocket launchers off course. One person was even so bold as to say this is Army Lieutenant Colonel Steve Warren. One bundle worth of equipment is not enough equipment to give the enemy any type of advantage at all. Now, I'm sure that reigns true when you're fighting a mighty force such as the United States military, but I don't think that's true when you're fighting unarmed civilians in Syria. And when you don't feel safe in your own country, you want to move, understandably so. They're coming to America, they're coming to Austin, Texas, and one place in particular they're going to school, Alex Jones's alma mater, Anderson High School. Local news is reporting for the 2013 to 2014 school year, 675 refugee students began attending Austin ISD schools, and that number is only expected to grow. Now, with more Arabic-speaking students, they need more Arabic-speaking tutors. And you have tutors coming from places like the University of Texas to volunteer to teach the kids. And one of the tutors said that the kids are being bullied and their peers really don't understand what's going on. She says that the kids are being called things like ISIS and terrorists, even though they're fleeing from ISIS and terrorists. But we do have concerns of ISIS and the actual terrorists coming here because of improper vetting procedures in our immigration policy. We're here outside the Texas Department of Public Safety to illustrate all the stringent measures it takes for an American citizen to acquire a driver's license. Now, this is in stark contrast to tens of thousands of people who are coming into the country with little to no vetting process. I do support people who come here through legal and lawful means, but we've seen top advisors in Washington tell the president, Mr. President, we can't verify everybody that you're bringing into the country when you bring them in tens of thousands at a time. Now, to that, let's take a look at what you need to get a driver's license. You need proof of vehicle insurance, proof of U.S. citizenship or lawful presence, proof of identity, proof of residency in Texas,